I think we all need a drink in here right now.
Nacho, go get us one.
Just an interesting game, you know. A tale of two halves. Lakers demonstrated what they needed to do in the first half with defense and, you know, multiple scores, moving the ball. They had assists, and then all of a sudden they stopped playing and started to turn the ball over. And when you turn the ball over, your defense goes away, and Indiana's momentum just carried them back to a lead. This is a weird game. But you know, the Lakers did what they had to do down the stretch, I think, to get the game. But LeBron starting slow, picked up the pace a little bit. That's just a extra effort right there to tip in, which would have been a missed shot, perhaps. But they got the win, and that's, you know, it wasn't pretty, but they got it. And sometimes you, out of 82-game schedule, when you need a win on the road, you take what you can get.
That's a great point. Fish, I want to ask you this. As a player and a coach, lost 3 in a row, you know where everybody is in the standings, you know there's just 11 games left, you know you're in desperate need of a win. Will you just take that one and let's get out of town?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it pregame. Like, it, you know, we were breaking down reasons why, maybe, you know, injuries, the lineup, et cetera, but most nights in this league, just finding a way to win, especially on the road, that's really all that matters. We'll look at like you said, the tale of two halves. But I don't know if we anticipated a different game, right? The Pacers, good team, been playing well. Lakers, 3-game slide, needed to win. We got a close game. Lakers won. Let's keep moving on.
So can I throw away the passing up too many layups and throwing it out for 3 or lob? Giving up too many layups in the last minute. Can I throw that out? Because had that ready to go. I didn't want to use it, and I'm not going to now. Brez, go ahead.
I'll tell you what, this team needed a win. I mean, they lost 5 in a row on the road. Defense has not been good lately. And in that third quarter, it kind of felt like, uh-oh, is this going to happen again? Lakers gave up a ton of points. LeBron didn't get his first bucket until about 50 seconds into the fourth quarter. I mean, just a weird night all around. But these are the type of wins you need in the journey. And the Lakers have been snake bit by a couple last-minute or last-second losses. So it's good for them to get one back where they're like, okay, you know, this is one that we need. Get back in the hunt for that, not just 4th seed, but try to get a little higher, maybe 2nd or 3rd in the West against a team that had been playing really well. Indy had won 7 of 8. And they're a high-flying team. That was a fun team to watch. That was a fun game to watch. And the Lakers got the victory. D-Fish, you had the 0.4. LeBron contacted that ball with 0.1. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, listen, Indy was red hot twice when they were coming into Crypto.com Arena, and AR went for 45 and beat them, and then tonight winning 7 of 8. They play with the fastest pace in the league. It's a big win for the Lakers. Let's go back to Indiana. Rui Hachimura with Mike Trudell.
All right, Rui, just take me through the final seconds there as you see LeBron James go up and tip home that game winner.
I'm not going to lie. Since I got here, probably like 3 seasons,
Welcome back.
That was the worst game I've seen him play like that. You know, but in the fourth quarter, he took over. I think he only had a 3-point until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And he took over the game. You know, even though he didn't make a lot of shots, you know, he was doing a lot of stuff. Rebound. And that's why he got the last shot, you know, last rebound. Tip off. So it was a great win.
I'm going to get to your threes in a minute, but, you know, the Lakers clearly missed you and LeBron for the time that you were out, the defense, the physicality, and you just mentioned it, LeBron leading the way there, you as well. What does it say about him to be able to still do that while with his status as the league's all-time leading scorer?
That's the leader, you know. I think he knows the role, you know. It's hard again coming off, you know, he was out for like 2-3 weeks. And you know, we went into it. We on the road right into it, and it's not easy. But I think we got to get back to our rhythm. You know, I think we kind of offline now, but I think this is the game. You know, we're gonna change the. You know, we got to push the last push for the season. So yeah, that was a great win.
All right, Rui, you had only taken 2 shots before the fourth quarter, both threes that you hit. Gotta imagine it's hard to find a rhythm when you're not taking shots, and yet you drill back-to-back threes in crunch time.
I just stay ready. You know, JJ told me. Right before I get in, he said I'm gonna get the big shots. So stay ready, be ready. So I was just getting ready, stay ready for it, and I got those shots. So yeah, it was good.
All right, and to close out, I want to bring you back to the end of LeBron tipping in the ball. Could you see the red light? Like, did you know that it was good, or did you have to?
Yeah, it was in. Yeah, I was gonna go rebound too. So, but yeah, he got that one for sure. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Okay, he stole the putback dunk from you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Rui. Appreciate it.
Big time play. Rui came up huge. It was good to see him feeling good again. 14 points, 4 for 4 from 3. 2 of those late in the fourth quarter. I do want to show this last play. Once again, Fish, give you a chance to jump in on it. It was good defense by the Lakers. They tightened it up at the end, forced Mather into that shot, get the rebound. Luka looks, 9 seconds, no timeout, go. And Luka actually had a great look at it. Thank God there was a little bit of time left, because I thought Luka was going to hit it, D-Fish.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron was actually originally open on the leak out there. Luka didn't really want to take the risk on making that pass. And then they're just, Luka driving the closeout. Siakam couldn't keep him in front, gets the shot off. And then LeBron's just awareness, not just being in that position, but his awareness of what he needed to do to make sure he waited for the ball to come off the cylinder.
Oh, that's a good play.
And then got his hand on and off again to make sure that his fingers weren't touching the basketball as the time expired. So just that level of awareness, by LeBron, just really impressive. And again, all of these things it's just practice for, what the most important games in the postseason are like. Like, you're going to have a game in a playoff series or a play-in game where you're up 7 with a minute and 12 seconds to go or whatever.
Down 1.
And all of a sudden you're down 1. Can you get a stop, and can you score a bucket? And they were able to make that happen tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rui, fun to hear him talk to Mike. His first 2 games back after missing almost a month, he made 1 shot in 42 minutes. Fast forward to his 3rd game back tonight, 2 giant threes in the last couple minutes. I mean, back-to-back possessions. I mean, I give him a ton of credit. He got upgraded to the starting 5 tonight. Still maybe on a little bit of a minutes restriction, but James, the way he was playing late, you got to blow through that tonight, whatever it was. Good to see Rui back, because he's an important part of this team. He did not look good at all his first 2 games back. He had that jumper's knee, a lot of tendinopathy. I know you love that word, James, in his knee, but he looked healthy, especially in that last couple minutes. I was impressed.
By the way, Fish, and good stuff on Rui right there. We'll definitely hear from him later. You saw me how I was tweaking during this. If it's a playoff game and it goes down like that, it's going to be tough in here. But let's talk a little. Let's talk a little Luka. 10th 30-point game, I think, in a Laker uniform. 10th time he's been the leading scorer. It was his 4th in a row. He went for 34. He was 6 of 10 from 3. He got to the line 7 times, made 6 of them, and then also 7 rebounds and 7 assists. Just what did you see from him, just in terms of how he was controlling this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think what the Lakers, and the team seem to be finding is like Luka kind of, I mean, they were in Indianapolis, right? Like, kind of setting the pace in terms of starting games as the initial offensive threat, the guy moving the scoreboard, making the plays, whether he's scoring himself or getting other guys involved. And then LeBron finished the game tonight, Rui with big shots in the fourth quarter. And so what I like about Luka's presence is it allows LeBron to kind of, on certain nights, find his way, wait his turn. But Luka plays in a style that keeps other guys involved because of how willing a passer he is. And it's reminiscent in ways of, Shaq and Kobe's ability to play off of each other. Kobe and Pau Gasol, like having 2 guys that no matter what, at the end of the night, they're going to be productive. And then can you get those timely contributions from other guys? And Rui was the guy tonight that knocked down those big threes.
No question about that. And, I like the comparison of letting Luka play off LeBron and LeBron being able to do his thing. Also, in between there, allowing Austin Reaves to do his thing. He was very vital there in the middle of the game of having the ball in his hand. Didn't like the lob he tried to get. I think a lot of times
has to go up 9. Yeah.
You get frustrated when they get, I think it's very common now, especially when centers get it in the middle of the lane. They look for that corner pass for the 3 if they're not willing to finish. So I just love the way Luka, he kind of controls the game from the beginning, allow other players to, like Reaves, to do his thing, and then down the stretch, he took a good shot, but then LeBron came in up with only, 2 points? And there was the threat of him not getting his 10. We saw him change that real quickly.
He ramped it up quickly.
It was just, a good win.
Yeah.
A good win, a good feel-good win. As Fish stated, you're going to have some games like that. It was disappointing that the lead, got away from them, but the way they were able to execute down the stretch and hold on was impressive to get a win on the road, that first one.
Yeah, as for Luka, I know he missed that last shot. He should almost get an assist because 3 guys were on him when he took that shot, leaving LeBron open under the basket. Still got to have that skillful tip. Like you said, D-Fish, can't hold it too long in your hand. Get it in quickly. Can't even think about bringing that ball down off the rebound. Game would have been over. But Luka sucked in, 60% of that Pacers defense left LeBron open for the tip.
No doubt. All right, let's hear from J.J. Redick, who's speaking with Mike in the media.
J.J., just your perspective on the final shot from LeBron and kind of coming on a game where he starts slow, but he'd been leading the defense, he'd been rebounding. And did you see some kind of poetic justice in the game ending like that?
Yeah, I think 2 things. I think we said this morning this was going to be a game that would have to be won on multiple efforts. And that was primarily in reference to what we needed to do defensively. But we won the game on a multiple effort play. And, we had the early advantage getting the stop. I think the 42 seconds, even though we didn't score on that possession, we essentially got a 2-for-1. So we were, as long as we got a stop, we were going to get a look at it. And because we had an advantage, they were in scramble mode, felt really comfortable just letting those guys play. And Bron just made a huge play. And I think it's another great example, where he doesn't necessarily have it going early, and got off to a slow start offensively. He was so good defensively. He was so good on the glass for us and really led us on that end. And then takes over in the fourth quarter and then gets rewarded by the basketball gods because he didn't let go of the rope and didn't stop competing.
Sure, there were moments tonight, I'm sure, where you didn't quite see what you were looking for, but it seemed like for the most part of the game you did, and kind of getting back to what you were looking for. Did you feel that way, and then putting it kind of on wax like that? Way
more good than bad. We did like 4 of the dumbest things I've ever seen us do all season. I already told the guys that. Like nonsensical stuff. You take those plays out of it. Like everything else, we played well enough to win the game. That was 11 points they had. And it was all 3 onside out of bounds in the first half and 1 at the end of the third quarter. Just nonsensical, lack of awareness plays. Outside of that, when we were able to set our defense, I thought we were great in the half court. The turnovers, when you have a live ball turnover against this team, it's basically just put points on the scoreboard for them. They're just so good in transition when you turn the ball over. I thought in the first half there was a lot of early offense for us where we were playing with some thrust and pace, particularly in that second quarter. And then in the second half, it was more about execution. And when we were able to stay calm and execute, we got really good stuff. And truthfully missed a bunch of wide open shots and had some shots at the rim that we didn't convert. But I thought our process, outside of some sort of early offense, no pass possessions, I thought our process in the second half offensively was great.
You guys had lost 7 out of 10. You admitted to us the other night that we're going through it a little bit. Your guy, Rui, had been missing for almost 2 months. Hits back-to-back threes. You go up 6 in the final 2 minutes. They take the lead. Like all those contextual things added up. Had this been a loss and not a win, can you just speak to what the emotional toll it would have been? And on the flip side of that, what type of boost do you get from this result?
Yeah, if we were just saying in the coach's room, it felt like a game we won 3 times and we lost 3 times, and we ended up winning the game. And it's hard to win in the NBA. It's hard to win against a great team like Indiana. Frankly, they don't ever get talked about enough nationally. They're a phenomenal basketball team. Rick is a phenomenal coach. And they're going to be a tough out in the East again. For our group to get 2 wins against them, that's given our struggles against the Eastern Conference, we're really happy with that. And I think Rui just, again, getting back in the groove, getting some confidence from tonight, thought he was.
It's a LeBron James winner. Big game. You knew it was coming.
Good execution. Got the ball in the right hand. It was a good floater shot, and LeBron anticipation, his experience, his timing, being under the basket, boxing out, creating space for just that, an opportunity to tip it in. LeBron James.
Let's go inside the locker room and hear from the man of the hour. LeBron is speaking with Mike.
LeBron, you always talk about the main thing, and you're going to do whatever it takes in the course of a game to win. Is there some kind of poetic justice in a rebound, a putback, when you weren't scoring early, but you were on the glass, you're playing defense, and that being the difference?
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever it takes to help your teammates win. And, for me, I can always do other things that still impact the game, even when I'm not scoring. That's the beauty of my game. I've always built that throughout my whole life, as far as being, three-dimensional, being able to get my guys involved, being able to rebound, defend, and then sprinkling a few points from here to there.
Thinking about that play specifically, if I recall, you get the ball in the corner, you see Luka at the top of the key, chance to drive. At what point and how do you kind of set yourself up to get in position for the rebound? How can you take us through kind of in slow-mo?
I was just reading, once I hit Luka and he got the driving angle, I was just trying to read the ball off the rim. It kind of looked like it was a little short, but, I know it had a chance to kind of, if it hit the front rim, maybe bounce in. But once it came out of there, I just wanted to try to tap it with enough time. So, obviously you could see me probably looking over at the Jumbotron, just see if the replay was coming to see if I actually got it on time, and good play for us.
Just some irony in, the amount of points and assists that you've had, but this team still kind of needs the defense, the rebounding, just given what the makeup is, and that's kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's needed from our team. The way our team is, our dynamic right now, that is needed. Obviously, I know I can score the ball, but, until we start continuing to find our rhythm offensively, whatever the case may be, the defensive side is the most important for our ball club. In order for us to win, we got to defend. It starts with me. It starts with my voice. And, being able, if we go small a lot, I have to help clean glass and keep guys, in front of me and be an anchor on the defensive end. So, that's what it calls for at this moment.
LeBron, what is a game winner feel like still at this stage of your career? Like, what's the after effect of that ball going through the basket for you emotionally?
I really couldn't really have too much emotion because I was trying to see if I got the ball off in time, to be honest. It's always tricky when that, you kind of touch the ball, you kind of see the red light around the backboard and you don't quite know if you got it on time. I thought I had it on time, but you never know. Sometimes, it's always that split second, seeing if the tip of your fingers are on the ball or not. But, after they showed the replay on it, it was, definitely gratifying to know, especially the way we've been playing and, to come in, to know how they've been playing. And to come in here and get a good win in a very, hostile environment, that's big time for our ball club.
Along those same lines, you preach never get too high, never get too low. You guys were in a position where you could have blown a 6-point lead in the final 2 minutes. Instead, you walk out of here with the win. What can this do for the group? This collective feeling, knowing that you guys had you around this morning, implemented the game plan, all those things as you go down these last 10 games.
Obviously we know we got to be better, especially in those last 2 minutes. We felt like we had some momentum after those 2 big time threes by Rui. And we got to do a better job of defending, not letting them score so fast in the shot clock. And then, obviously Reaves hit a big time floater to put them up 1. So we got to do a better job of that. But it's about, the game is never over. It's 0s on the clock, literally tonight. And just keeping your composure throughout all.
Ron, whenever something happens that's never happened before in your career, I try to find it for you. David and I were looking. You had never had a game where you played 3 quarters and hadn't made a shot.
Mm-hmm.
What was going on offensively in that stretch? Did you feel frustrated with that? And I guess how were you able to stay engaged in the other aspects?
Yeah, how many shot attempts did I have through 3? Yeah, it's a little weird too. So. But it's all right. So listen, the main thing is the main thing, and that's just trying to win the basketball game. So, you don't really know if you're in a rhythm or not, if you're out of rhythm with 6 shot attempts. So, it's just about still what can I do to still affect the game. If the ball is going to come to me, offensively. Then I got to try to make some plays, and it did early in that fourth quarter. I was able to make some plays and help build us a lead.
You had a tip in.
Had 18 assists, 1 turnover tonight. Your former USA teammate. How have you seen his game grow throughout the years?
Throughout the years, it's all about opportunity, confidence, and then your ability will take over from there. So, obviously we've seen him young, in Sacramento, and then he got the opportunity to come here and play for this organization. This organization, I welcome him with open arms, and he's been able to thrive, especially in this system, with his fast pace and, getting guys that want to move with him and run with him. It fits his game perfectly. And, the more and more he plays, the better and better he gets. Reaves is just a cool dude, man. It's my first time ever hanging with him, during the Olympics, and loved every moment of it. And just a really cool dude. Great family, too, man.
Last question. Bronny coming off of his best game as a Laker, then goes to South Bay, goes for 37. He's your teammate. 39. Thank you. 39.
Don't worry about it.
I knew you'd have it. Okay, sorry. Doing me short on that. When do you get like a text now because he's with the G League after a game like this?
Him?
Is your teammate?
I sent him a note. No, I sent him a note.
No, I mean after tonight, after the buzzer.
Yeah. He's not much of a texter, to be honest. Okay. I don't know. I usually send him a note after his games, but. I think he's in Chicago right now, so who knows? He might be at a great restaurant right now enjoying dinner. But I'm just, super proud of him. Obviously, you guys seen some of the comments I had when I was on the, Pat McAfee show, and just, about his continue to improve. And, so that's always great. And I was happy for him to see what he was able to do versus Milwaukee, then go back down to the G and see what he was able to continue to build on that. And, I'll definitely ask him tomorrow when I see him at during our meeting.
Just make sure he caught that.
Yeah, for sure.
You can still do it.
Yeah, yeah, I get on him.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
More to come on Access. Lakers snapped their 3-game losing streak with a big win over the Pacers. We'll hear from Austin Reaves after the break. Carl's Cam moment of the game. James, it's Jackson Hayes.
He and Vanderbilt and Vinny Smith, they've been working on that handoff. Sometimes they hand it off, but lately they've been faking that handoff and going to the cup. And it's a good play for those guys. Hayes, he stuck it hard.
You like it, don't you?
Like it.
Yeah, no, Draymond Green uses that as well whenever he's involved with some Steph Curry action. So Jackson Hayes, man, doing a good job.
24 points for Austin Reaves in the win. He's with Mike.
Austin, before we get to the buzzer beater from LeBron, everything there, did your ankle okay? Came back to get it retaped? Or?
Yeah, I feel great. Even better after a win. So we'll be back at it tomorrow.
All right, so you guys had control at a couple of different times. Then they go on that late run to take the lead. You had a couple of great looks from three, but what is it to get that tip from LeBron to actually get the victory and cement it? What does that do for the team, and what did you see on the play?
It's big. I mean, like I said, on the court, it's just a really good player making a really good play. It's not it's not like he had the ball at half court and ISO'd and got a bucket. Like he made pretty much a scrappy play to get to where he was at and make a winning play. And, like you said, we had, a couple opportunities to, I think, finish the game. And, if I would have made a shot, that might have happened, but I didn't want to take away from LeBron's game winner. So, when you play a team like that, though, they shoot the three so well that you never really, have them out of the game. The same thing happened back when we played them at, our place. We were up 15, 17, and, they cut it to, I think, 5 or 6.
I was just talking to LeBron about this, but, think about league's all-time leading scorer, 4th in assists, and in this game, he has to defend, rebound, kind of do some of those things while you and Luka are cooking early. But what does that just say, about him and kind of the mindset?
Just shows you what he's about. He's a winner at heart, and that's really it. He's done this for a long time, and if anybody has the right to get frustrated in moments and when it's not going the way he wants it to go, it could be him, but he just puts his head down and continues to work. So if he didn't do that, then we probably wouldn't have won the game tonight. He was huge in the fourth quarter, took over early, and then like everybody's seen, he got a game winner.
What was the feeling like in the locker room? Just coming back, you had the Laker fans in the crowd making a ton of noise as you guys made your way through the tunnel. just to get that feeling back. I know the last 10 games have been the best for you guys as a group.
Yeah, just winning is fun. That's really it. You excited for, Brian making a big play like that. But at the end of the day, winning games is all that matters. So it feels good to, get back on the right side of that and, trying to stack days and go get another one in Chicago.
Reaves last 2 games versus the Pacers. Who's your daddy? Like that? Who's your daddy? Because he's gone off. Fish 45-24, made 22 shots out of 42, hit some threes, rebounds, assists, doing it all. Braun calls game in Indiana. More post-game reaction on the way. We'll hear from Luka after the break. If your Lakers won the game, score any 2 free tacos with any drink purchased from Jack in the Box tomorrow. Just ask for the Lakers deal when you order, valid only at Los Angeles restaurants. Go Lakers and go Jack. And remember what Big Game always says after a big win like that in a tip-in, don't sleep on them.
You got some spare change, man. Go and get you a couple.
A couple egg rolls with some sauce. Another 30-point game
for Luka. Get around that ashtray. Get them quarters out of there.
Speaking with Mike in the media.
Lucas, so you get the stop, and eventually the ball gets to LeBron in the corner. He gives it to you. You make the drive, get a great look. It just rims out. Can you just kind of take us through that whole possession and your emotions when you see LeBron get up and tip it in?
I mean, first of all, when I got the rebound, he was on the court. He was asking for the ball, but I wasn't confident enough to make that pass. That 9 seconds to go. So then passed to AR, he passed to LeBron. I just saw how much confidence he has in me, and I really appreciate that to give me that final ball. I think we got a great look. Didn't make it, but LeBron was there, luckily.
You're in good rhythm from 3 all night, but is it important to try and get downhill? Like I don't know if it was Turner that was closing out, but for you to penetrate there, kind of draw the defense. Is that a play that you typically make there instead of taking a step back or whatever?
Yeah, I think I'm just going back to myself a little bit, just driving the ball more. I know when I drive the ball, it's really hard to stop us. People going to collapse on the paint, and I can do throw out, or however you say it. So I think today I did a little bit more of that. So it was good for me and for us, I think.
Luka, where are you at in trying to find the best way for yourself, LeBron, and Austin to kind of complement one another? And like a game like tonight where, you're hitting threes, but then when you go to the bench in the second, Austin picks it up, and then, it's LeBron at the start of the fourth. Is that kind of the vision in some way where you guys can all sort of shoulder this in some degree together for stretches?
I think for me, it's still a lot of work to do. Just trying to understand what the guys like, what those two guys want. AR and LeBron been playing with 3-4 years together, so they know each other a little bit more. So that's gonna take a little bit of time. But I gotta watch film and adapt me to that situation.
Dorian told us the other night in Orlando that he felt like this group, because you had so much early success, could maybe use some adversity, would actually benefit you in the long run. Just what was it like to go through today, getting back to a shoot around? You haven't really done that very often. Have a game plan in place, and then be able to escape with a win and kind of get some more wind back in your sails.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't need this one badly. Like I said before, that's a hot team right here. They won 5 in a row. They play fast, they play aggressive, so it was a really hard game. So that one just felt amazing. When I saw the shot go in, I was really relieved and happy.
Austin had the big second quarter tonight. He's kind of whatever role he's been in, even since you've been here, whether it's all 3 of you guys, you and him and LeBron, or even him by himself. He's had success. How impressive has it been for him, no matter his role, to still excel kind of nightly?
I mean, it's amazing for him. He never seen complain about what role he's playing, or his number 1 option, number 2, or number 3. He never complains, and just the way he sticks with it is amazing to see, and that's the guy you want on your team.
Rui hit those 2 big threes toward the end of the fourth. It was his first start since returning from injury. What kind of dynamic does he bring, not just to the groups, but specifically to that starting lineup when he's in there?
I mean, great. He gives us another shooter. trying to work on his layup though. You got to use the other side. But yeah, it's been great to have him. Like I said, another guy that never complains, just works hard. He does whatever you tell him, and you need those guys on your team. And I'm really happy that he's back. Obviously, it's been hard because he got injured, and to come back and play like this, it's unbelievable.
Thanks, Luka.
Thank you.
Let's dial in and get focused because it's time for Fish's focus. Coach, Fisher, Derek, what are you doing tonight?
You need some sleep, man. We need to get you home real quick.
I feel a little punchy tonight.
We're going to break down some of these.
I'm off tomorrow, Derek.
These late game actions here, man. You see here, Vando just making a good clearing cut. You can't switch it. Any confusion caused here. That gives Luka a driving lane right down the lane. In a late game situation, you see timeout there. Here, just pick and roll. Luka makes the read. Good one more pass. Good to great from Austin up to Rui. Knocking down the key three here. And then again, pick and roll involving Rui. They're trapping Luka. Instead of Rui rolling, he pops to space. Siakam too late on the rotation. Rui knocks down another three. And then here, LeBron is initially open on his leak out, but Luka decides not to take the risk. Live action, this made me nervous. I don't know if LeBron saw Siakam. When this ball comes out, I thought he was going to run through this pass at that point, but Luka doesn't settle, drives a bad closeout, and then LeBron and Rui as well, both in position to get in the tip in there at the end. And so, a lot of times, we spend a lot of time talking about late game situations and, ATOs and plays. And when you have a guy named Luka Doncic and another guy named LeBron James, you can have great stuff, and JJ has great stuff, but you can let those guys play as well.
The game? That was nice.
I didn't see that, but Fish just showed Siakam could have definitely got a hand on that.
I didn't see that either.
But a smart defensive player won't gamble, and he didn't. But that was a scary moment right there. But we got the W.
I'll take
Let's go home.
More to come on Access after the break. A look at the Lakers' remaining stops in the road trip Thursday. Second out of a back-to-back against the Chicago Bulls. We got the upcoming schedule. It's the Bulls tomorrow night, then the Grizz a couple of days after that on a Saturday, and then March 31st, Lakers are going to return home for a few here. Rockets, Warriors, and Pelicans will be back to wrap it all up on the other side.